So another quadratic model question. So here we are. So Claudia, a restaurant manager, adds a new item, pasta with scampi, to her menu. She sells it at a different price each week and finds that she can model the revenue using a quadratic function. Claudia models the relationship between the selling price and the total weekly revenue from selling pasta with scampi, which we're calling R, using the function that. Okay, so the first thing says, what total revenue will Claudia take if she sets the selling price at £18? So we've got our P at 18, so I want to calculate my R. So I say that if P equals 18, R, according to the formula, is 120 times 18 minus 5 times 18 squared, which goes in the calculator. That seems to be wrong. What have I done wrong there? 21. Oh, sorry, I've mistyped. 120 times 18. Knew it couldn't be negative, so the answer has come out at 540, which equals 540. So the answer is £540. Okay. If Claudia takes a weekly revenue of £595, what selling prices could she have set? So this time we're saying that if R is 595, what is P? So I'm going to set up an equation. Please don't miss this step here, because there is a mark there, and if something goes wrong in between, so I've got, then you'll still pick up the marks. So 5p squared minus 120p plus 595 equals 0. I'm just going to simplify this because I think it's going to help us when we're thinking about the equations. I can divide all those coefficients by 5, can't I? I can divide left and right by 5, so I end up with p squared minus 24p. 595 divided by 5 is 119 equals 0. So I can now solve that using the calculator. So I'm going to go into the polynomial degree 2. As you can see, I just tried this before, so the numbers are in there. So I've got 1 minus 24, 119. Always remembering to press solve. So I've got p equals 7 and p equals 17. So my answers are £7 or £17. Okay, what is the maximum revenue? Okay, right, let's just have a little think about this. So I'm going to just draw a little sketch and take this a couple of ways actually. So I've got, I know that R is 120p minus 5p squared. So I'm going to just factorise out 5p from here. So that's going to give me 24 minus p. So this equation simplifies to this. Yeah, I've just factorised out 5 and factorised out p. The reason I've done that, I just want to draw a little sketch. And I'm going to just do this without the calculator before we start, and then we'll have a look at the calculator. So if I was to sketch that, so if I was to set that to be equal to 0, my solutions would be at 0 and at 24. So I'm going to end up with a curve that looks like that. That's very badly drawn, but never mind. And what it's asking me for is what is this value here. Okay, so I'm going to do this way first of all. So first of all, I know, because of the symmetry of parabolas, that midpoint must be at x equals 12. So I'm going to plug in 12 into the equation. I can either put it into that version or that version, it doesn't matter. So at P equals 12, R equals 5 times 12 times 24 minus 12, which equals, I think it's 720. So I've got 5 times 12 times 24 minus 12 in brackets, and I get 720. So I have my maximum point is actually at 12,720. So now I'm going to check that on the calculator. I'm just going to make sure I've got this right. Now if I go on to graph mode and I draw this graph, and I can put it in as either format, but I'll use the original format. So I've just deleted it. So 120x minus 5x squared. So if I draw that, I get a graph that looks like that. You may have to mess around with the V window to get it looking right, but if you get there, you get something that looks reasonable. I'm going to do gsolve, I'm going to do max, and there we go. I can see the max is at 12,720, which is what I'd calculated there. So I think it's good to be able to understand the graphical representation and how the algebra works, but don't forget you've got your calculator to make that check. Okay, at what selling price must Claudia set to achieve the maximum revenue? Well, I've already worked that out there, haven't I? So I've got my 12 is the middle of the curve, so actually what I've got is £12. Okay. In the context of the question, explain what is happening for each selling price that leads to the total revenue for the week being 0. So I think what it's saying is why, as this selling price goes up, does the revenue come down and eventually hit 0? And I guess what is happening here is that Claudia can set the selling price so high that no one will buy it. And that's what's happening there, isn't it? Once she sets it at £24, there's nobody's going to buy it. Very few people will buy it at that price, but once you get beyond that, nobody will purchase it at all. Too expensive. Okay.